Well, hello. So today I'm going to talk to you about Myers-Briggs personality types and money. Everybody likes money, right? Or you either hate it or it drives you nuts. It's really, to me, it's a really interesting topic. And I know as an ENFJ, I really like money. I like to play around with it. I like tinkering with it. I like to figure it out. I like to conquer it. I like to just keep it under control. So it's kind of an area that I'm comfortable with. And then I'm going to attempt to tell you some things that I think about each of the Myers-Briggs types. I think for a lot of people, money is a really scary thing. It's something that they run from. Some people say that they don't understand money, and is that you? Some people let money get so out of control that they just do whatever. But I just want to encourage you to start today. Money is something that makes you nervous, makes you anxious. It's something that you try to avoid dealing with. I mean, I understand that feeling of just not wanting to deal with it, not wanting to face it. And I know a lot of people are probably in crisis right now when it comes to money also. So I would just say start simple, start small, keep it simple. Go by the principle of if I don't have it, I don't spend it. Step one is you pay your bills. That's number one. Get your groceries. But as far as neglecting all of that, I'm just gonna go crazy doing whatever I want to because I'm angry because I'm never gonna have it anyway. You gotta start today because 5 years from now is gonna come. Exercise some restraint. Sometimes sacrificing, going without is necessary and it's important. Somebody had asked me before, what's more important, saving money or paying off your credit cards? And I know that that's a really tricky issue. I would definitely say pay your minimum. If you can pay your minimum, go for it. But as far as like, okay, your minimum is $30, but you're paying $100 to try to knock that credit card out, but you're going to be paying that $100 for the next 10 years, then when are you going to save? And I think it's more important to have savings. And I'm not saying not to pay your credit card. I'm saying pay the minimum and put some money in the bank for savings because you just don't know what's going to happen. If you have a tip or something that you do to be a good steward of money, then please put the comment below because you never know who you might be helping. And I think, this is an area that just really upsets people and keeps them up at night. So I understand. Let's talk about some of the Myers-Briggs and how they handle money. If you have something to add to how you handle things, put your Myers-Briggs down there and how you do it. And if you don't know Myers-Briggs, give us some tips or tell us some things that we should avoid, whatever. So let's start with the ESFJ. They like to be in charge. So they're going to be in charge of their money matters as well. They might be a little frugal. They might be very schedule oriented when it comes to their money. And they might hold back and just, pick times or schedule times to spend money on pleasures or guilty pleasures. ESTJs, same thing. They're going to have money and they're going to keep it unless for some reason they just let it get out of control. But I think for the most part, they're going to be concerned about money. They're going to think about long-term investing. They're going to be guarded with their money. They're not going to be as willing to take risks. They're going to think about security and they're going to look out for their family. ESFPs, different story. I have seen some ESFPs that kind of straddle the middle of the road. They want to indulge in fun and enjoying their money. And just when they're out or they're doing something, they're not going to be worried about money. But then I've seen some that are very balanced about it. They're still also going to save and realize that they have to be a good steward of it. But some of them can be very risk-taking when it comes to money. They can spend it when they have it. They're not going to worry about it when they don't have it. They can be good at handling day-to-day budgeting and all of that stuff, but sometimes they may not long-term plan as they should. ESTPs, well, you know what? They can be kind of high rollers with their money. They can take high risk, but at the same time, they can be very glib when it comes to money and clever with how to handle it. They can have an edge in the financial world. They can be very good with finances and figures, and math could be like a really big strength for them. So they are capable of having great financial stability as long as they don't get too excited and go crazy doing things like gambling and having fun and letting it get out of control. They could actually be fantastic at it. ISFPs, so sometimes they may not be the best at long range planning when it comes to their finances. That might not be a big strength, but they can do okay with handling their finances in a precise manner when they need to be. They can be good with the money if they need to be. They could be a little bit self-doubting at times, or they like to come up with ideas, so they may jump head first into a business idea without planning it. But I think for the most part, they're gonna be pretty good stewards. Let's talk about ISTPs. So they can actually have a practical approach to finances, and they're fixers. So they may see this as a way to, hey, let me see how I can fix my money. They may see it as a challenge, and they may take some risk, but I think for the most part, good sense will prevail, and they will be very practical with it, pay their bills first. I think they can be pretty good at it. Okay, so let's talk about ISFJs. Now, what's interesting is you probably look at them and you say, oh, they're an SJ type, they're going to be fantastic at money. I've actually seen some of the people of this type be great at it, and I've seen some people of this type be really horrible at it. And I don't know, why. It's just, I'm trying to be truthful and honest here. Sometimes I think they can let it get out of control, or they seem to not quite understand it, or they may say things like, well, I'm trying to get my money under control, but I'm going to go and buy that piece of equipment that I really want. And it's like, well, you either got to get it under control and wait to buy that luxury item. So sometimes they don't. I've seen ones that do not understand money, but the ones who are good at it, they take advantage of being good at facts and figures, because they're usually very good with money. So they really have an advantage there, and they can be very conservative with it and good at balancing their budget, using their checkbook, sticking with certain rules like you can't spend money until you have it. They may not let their credit cards get out of control. They may manage those very well. But then I've also seen some people let their credit cards get way out of control of that type. So I just have mixed feelings on that one. But you let me know in the comment section what you've noticed, or what you as an ISFJ do. Let's talk about ISTJs. I think they can be masters of finances. They can be accountants, bankers, brokers, all of that stuff. So they can be experts at handling it, and they will enjoy and like being conservative with their money and how they deal with finances. I think if they get under too much stress, where there are a lot of things in their lives that are way out of control, they can start getting out of control a little bit with their money. And that's not to say that they're going to go under, but they might stop saving as much as they could, because they may act out a little bit in the money area. INFJs, they think money is mundane and boring, and just the dealing of the preciseness and the precision of it, it's just not inspiring to them. So they may not be the best at money, believe it or not. And I'm sure that some of them are fantastic at it, but they may kind of like, oh, I really want to do that project over there. Or I've heard some INFJs say that they're just not that great with it, honestly. INFPs, money might not be at the top of their list of, oh, this is like the most interesting, fun thing to do. They may not care for it so much, but when they tap into it, they can actually be very, very good at it. They just have to really tap into their skills and believe in their capabilities. Let's talk about ENFPs. How do you think they'll be at money? Well, they can be very hot and cold when it comes to money. They're very go with the flow kind of people anyway. So when it's just like with gambling, like when the iron is hot, it's hot, but then the next minute they may not be interested in money at all. They just kind of go with the flow and kind of stay in the moment when it comes to handling money. ENTPs. Now, I've seen some people of this type be extremely good with money. However, there are many of them that are like roller coaster approach. They take that approach when it comes to money and investments. They may lose a lot of money. They may gain a lot of money. They may be very up and down and risk takers when it comes to investing their money in new businesses. So might not be their biggest strength. ENFJs have a strong need for closure, and they also may have an ideal in mind when it comes to their finances. So they tend to be conservative with money, and they can also be very responsible and effective when it comes to finances. They're going to keep their families at the forefront. In other words, they're going to say, okay, how is what I'm doing with money going to impact the future of the people that are in my life? And then ENTJs, how are they with money? I would say that they're very good at money. They can be very effective. They can manipulate finances to accomplish all of their goals. It's just another system for them to tamper with and have great success with. So they can be very competent when it comes to money. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you would like me to do more videos that encompass all the different types, then let me know that by liking the video. That gives me a barometer for what people enjoy seeing. So you guys take good care of your money, be good stewards of it. Be sure to subscribe, and I'll see you on the next video. Thanks. Bye-bye.